I'm gonna show you how you can quickly set up your N8N using the self-hosted method. Let's say suppose you are using make.com and you don't want to pay $10 per month for 10,000 operations. So as you can see here, I'm using the free plan and we only got 1,000 operations per month. And as you can see, I'm already exhausting it, about to exhaust the free operations per month. So what you can do if you want to run unlimited operations, you can do this self-hosting, which is really easy to set up. Even I'm going to show you how you can quickly connect that to your Google Sheet, because there's some few instructions that you need to follow so that you will be able to connect your Google Sheets. Suppose your source of data, as we always use here in make.com template, we get the keywords, for example, from Google Sheet. So we're going to connect that using this self-hosting community edition of N8N. So you click this view documents right here, the documentation, and you head straight to this Docker installation guide. And here you're gonna need to download this application Docker. So if you haven't heard of Docker, it's a simple application that will run a container on your system, and then it can run whatever type of pre-built application. So you don't have to understand everything. So you just need to download. So just select the version of operating system you're using. In my case, I'm using Mac. So you just download and quickly install it. So since I have downloaded this, once you download, you can confirm by just opening a terminal. And if you are using Windows, then just open PowerShell. So you can just type Docker help or Docker info, just like that. And once you see this data right here or details right here, that means you successfully installed the Docker. It's really easy. You just need to click next, and just finish the installation. So the next thing that we're going to do, come back here to Docker installation instruction. So you scroll down and you just need to simply run these two commands right here. First, you run this. So this will create the volume or the container of all the data you will create for your N8N operation. So you just gonna need to run this just like that, and it will automatically create the N8N data. As you can see right here, it got created. Now the next thing that you need to run is this command right here. So this will allow you to open the connection of your N8N self-hosted running in your local computer. So once that's successfully run, so as you can see here, editor is now accessible via this URL. So you can just simply click this and look at that. You will be able to open here. So since I have my credential, I am redirected to this sign in, but the first time you're going to open, you will be creating your account. So that's very simple. So here, I'm just signing in with my email. You can see right here, you will have this space running on your local machine. As you can see, I'm running it on your local machine. So now you can create any number of automation, and it's unlimited as long as you keep your computer running. It won't shut down. So if you have a spare computer, or if you always keep your computer on, so this is a good approach for you to use the N8N self-hosted. Otherwise, you can use Google Cloud by creating virtual machines, which I'm going to cover in the next video. I'm going to show you how you can easily set up your virtual machine using Google Cloud. But in this topic right here, we will just focus on creating it using the local hosts. Suppose you're going to run it locally, so you have unlimited number of workflows that you can create. Now let's create a simple automation. So I'm going to start from scratch. So in my use case, I will be populating my new blog. So as you can see right here, I've got my blog right here. I'm going to populate this empty blog with cosmic items, which I can find here in Amazon. So in this case, we're going to choose cosmic brownies. Here in the free keyword by Ahref, I'm going to type cosmic brownies so I can gather some keyword ideas. So let's say this first 5 right here. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to connect using Google Sheets. We're going to allow N8N to connect to our Google Sheet right here. There's some few configuration that we need to follow, which I'm going to show you very quickly. So first, I'll head over to a Google spreadsheet. And then here, we're going to say Cosmic Brownies. That's our product. And here, I'm going to say keywords because we will use this template to automate the creation of our content. Now, we will use status. So the same thing that we use in make.com template. So if you are here in the channel for quite some time, you will be familiar with this template right here. So I'm going to paste those keywords. All right, so I'm going to start with these 5 keywords right here. So they will be all pending. So these are the 5 keywords that we will create contents. Now, the next thing that you're going to do, we will set up a connection to our Google Sheet when we are connecting using our N8N. So here, you're going to click this add first step, and you're going to select the trigger manually. So here, it means that whenever you click this test workflow, this test workflow button, so the automation will run. So later on, you can just automatically run this. Now, the next step will be, of course, getting the data from the Google Sheets. So we're going to type here, Google. So we're going to select this Google Sheets right here. And we're going to have to type this get rows from the sheet. So here you will be creating the Google Sheet connection for the first time. And since I have it already set up right here, I'm going to show you how you can do that from scratch. So first, you're going to click this create new credentials, and it will show you this instruction using this OAuth 2. Now, let's head over to Google Cloud Platform so you can set up your client ID and client secret key. If you want more details, you can just simply click here and follow the instruction. But anyway, I'm going to provide you how you're going to do that. So here we're going to click this and look at this. These are the complete instruction how you're going to set this up. But I will teach you how to do that in a simple way. Now head over to your console.cloud.google.com, and here you will see some project data right here, the project folder. You can create a new project or use the existing. So in my case, I created and name it N8N automation. So I'm going to choose this. And make sure you enable the API and services for Google Sheets. So you click this one, enable APIs and services. You will see these are all your list of enabled APIs. So you can search here, Google Sheets right here, and you will see a button here that says enable if it's not enabled for you. Now, the next thing that we want to do, select these credentials right here. We are still under the N8N automation project. Now, here in credentials, you click this create credentials. Now, you're going to select this OAuth client ID. And in this application type, you just select web application. All right. So you can name this N8N local. So you just choose your name. So we just going to need to authorize redirect URIs. So we click this and we go to our N8A instruction. So this is the OAuth redirect URI. So we copy this and head back to the setup. So just paste it right there. As you can see, it says it may take 5 minutes or a few hours to take effect. That's fine. Now we click this create, and it's gonna provide you with this data. So this is going to be your client ID. So copy this, head back here. So just paste the client ID right there, and the client secret will be right here. So it's very simple. Really, really simple. Now, once you have this, you're gonna click the sign in. So it's gonna open and pop up like this. So you just click on continue. And here, you're gonna allow N8N automation to interact with your Google Sheets or Google account. Now select all and then click this continue. All right, you will see here connection successful. So it's going to close automatically. Now you have your connection. Now you just need to close this, and you're gonna select your connection right here if you've got several. If your connection has been set up successfully, you will be able to select the document list right here. And you see it's loading. So I'm going to choose this Cosmic Brownies, and you're going to choose the sheet number. Of course, it's always sheet number 1. You can add filter, and then here, of course, the status, we will set the status to pending. We will put the value as pending. So every time we get a value, it will search for the status with the pending value. This add option, and just select this return only first matching row. So I will only have one result at a time. So let's check if it's going to work. And you see this is the data. Now here you just toggle it because it's returning all. So you just toggle this on. All right, now let's test it again. I should only have one result of that's working. So you can go back to the setup. So you just click this back to canvas. Now you have your connection right here. I'm gonna create the content for my keywords right here. Of course, I'm going to use Article AI Generator. So let me just log into my account. And here I will go to App Secret Key, and you will be able to find these details, which I'm gonna need to set up my HTTP call to create content. Now here you just click this add icon and say HTTP request right here. Now this setup, the UI of N8N, it's really easy to use compared to Make. It's my opinion, but It may be different for you, but I feel very comfortable using this UI right here. So in the method, you're going to choose post, just like that. And the URL, you can copy what's mentioned right here. Now paste that right there. So authentication should just keep it as none. What I want to do is this one, send query parameters. Now we're going to add our first query parameter, which is keyword, as mentioned right here. So this simple step. So first you're going to add your username, but doesn't matter the order. So we're going to choose the keyword from the value that's returned by this one. So you can see the Google Sheet connection right here. So I'm going to choose this keyword so you can see exactly what it's going to choose. So here, let's select the value from this one. So you can simply drag. All right. So that's how you're going to do it. You drag it. All right. Fix. So you just have to drag right here in the value. So it's going to be selected right there. And now we're going to add another parameter, which is username, and grab your username from here. Now paste it in the value section and add another parameter, which is the secret key. So very important. And then add a value right here, right there. I'm going to add one more parameter and say the length of article for this demo, I want it to be short, so it will generate faster. So the length will be short, but if you don't add this by default, it's going to be medium. Now that's done. Our article is done. Our article AI generator connection, it's created. You can click this to test setup, but it will create the article right away. So you don't want to do that. So we just go back to the canvas. So we have it here, the connection for article AI generator. Now we're going to post that to our WordPress, which we can simply add another HTTP request. All right. I will use this Circuit AI Online to add my WordPress credentials so I can easily create the connection and post it to my WordPress. So I'm just going to log into my account. And here in the credentials, I will add my Cosmic website. So I'm just going to add the admin. So click this add credentials and then select WordPress. And then here, name your connection and then the site URL, username, and then the password. Of course, the URL, just like that. And then click on remove the trailing slash, then click on add. All right, let's go back to credentials. We have our Cosmic right there with this identifier. We will need this. And you go to this, click this icon. So you go to this home page, you will scroll down and you will see this WordPress automation helper. Now you just need to install this plugin to your WordPress so it will easily connect when you add these parameters to your automation. So let's quickly install that. So here in our WordPress, add new plugin. I'm going to upload the plugin and then browse it. So here we're going to install this and then activate the plugin. That's done. We have this JSON basic authentication. Now we're ready to add this in our N8N workflow. Again, go to post and the URL of our automation helper will be this one. All right, this one, just copy that and paste it in the URL value. Now again, authentication we don't need, but here we need headers. Earlier in Article AI Generator, we enabled these query parameters, but this one we will enable headers. Now we will only need one header because right here, content type, so paste that in a name and then the value will be this one. Paste it right there. That's done. Now here we will be enabling this send body and the body content will be this one, form URL encoded. Let me just double check. So yeah, form URL encoded. That's what we added in the content type. Now here we're going to have the details right here. So I'm just going to quickly add this body parameter. So username, this one right here, it is your Circuit AI Online username. We are using the Circuit AI Online so that we only need to set up one module right here. We don't need multiple modules when uploading an image to WordPress, when creating the content. So we only add all the body parameters here. So here we add another parameter, which is the identifier. That's what I mentioned right here because we added the WordPress connection of Cosmic. So this is our identifier. So we're going to copy this in here. The name will be identifier and then paste the identifier right there. And the next thing is the post title, which is coming from Article AI Generator because we have been executed. So let me see. So I'm going to double click this Article AI Generator and then click on test setup. So it will now generate the required article for the first right here. Now we're going to click this test setup so that we can connect this to the third workflow, which is posting to our WordPress. So let's test this. If it's going to work, it should generate the first article. There you go. That's our title, and that's the content, which we will need to be connected to the third module that we are setting up, to the third step. Now let's see if we will be able to get, there you go. Now the content is available. So very, very simple to use. So post title, again, we're going to drag this right there. All right, now we have the post title, add another parameter, which is the post content. Of course, the post content, the value will be this. We're going to drag this again, add another parameter. That is the post status. So we're going to set that to publish, right? As mentioned here, publish for WordPress. All right, now later, since we didn't generate an image, I'm gonna configure that. I'm gonna modify that later if you want to add an image. So for now, let's see if it's going to be posted in our WordPress. Our setup is done right here. Let's see if there's any more. So nothing. So just this for now. Later, we're gonna add an image. So let's go to back. And the last step will again be the Google Sheets. And here we will update. So there you go, update row. We're gonna, every time we complete an automation, we're gonna update the status to done. So that means it should go to the next keyword. Now here, can choose the correct spreadsheet and the sheet name. And here, I think it should be the row. So the row number that we will update is coming from, I think, execute previous nodes. So there's no data right here. So we click this. All right, there you go. So you just click it execute previous node. So you will see this data right here. We're going to have the row number right there. We're going to drag it. All right. So Google Sheet will be, so every time a row number is executed, so that will be sent here dynamically. And then the keyword, we keep it like that. So we will just need to update the status. I think that's it. All right. So we completed the workflow. Now here, you can type it manually in case you don't want to actually execute the previous one, which is the generation of article itself. You don't want to have it generated. You can type this manually. So here, what you're going to do is this curly bracket, just like that. And you can do this JSON. So what's mentioned right there, JSON.title. All right. You can use this JSON.title if you are getting the data from the previous workflow only. All right. So I think that's gonna work that way. But in case, so here you can see this data right here. We are getting the value from the Google Sheet. So the first item right here. So that's why it needs to be referenced like this. All right. But if it's just from the previous, so you can just type the value right here and prepend it with this $JSON, just like that. So now let's see if we will be able to create the content and post it directly to our WordPress. Now, this is the first time we're going to test this automation, so hopefully it should work. We're going to click this test workflow. Oh, there you go, guys. So it's all checked. So hopefully it's posted directly to our WordPress. And there you go. Look at this. Set the status to done. That means it's all good. And we can refresh this to see. Oh, because we already generated the first one, right? Earlier before we tested the first content. So we have it here duplicated. So we're gonna remove that right here. So trash it. So we just keep this. So make sure your WordPress in the permalinks, it is set to post name, right? So it has the friendly URL. And now we view this. Now this is our article, how to make cosmic brownies. Look at this. So I think this is better if we have an image. All right. So this is an auto blogger using N8N, which you can use. So you can use the setup. And what's good about this N8N is it is hosted in our local computer or self-hosted. That means we have unlimited operations. So you can do unlimited automation. You don't need to pay $10 if you need the 10,000 operations, because we all know that 1,000 operations won't be enough if we have a lot of scenario. And in this case, it will be helpful for us. So if your computer, again, is always open, you can set the automation to run. You can set the trigger to run every 4 hours, 3 hours. So let's see how we can add that trigger. I think we can add this one, schedule trigger right here. You can select this schedule trigger. And if your computer is always open and you set this up using Docker, so you can have every hour, if you want a new WordPress content every hour, so you can do that. So let's say every 4 hours, and here, that's the scheduled trigger. So every 4 hours, it will create a new content for you. So once you're satisfied, you can toggle this inactive to make it active. And this will run every 4 hours. So that's unlimited operations, guys. So you can also set maybe day, or you want one content every day. That's also fine. But in this way, you're pretty much good to go. You have this auto-blogging set up in your local and self-hosted. That's it, guys, for now. If you have any questions, just leave in the comment below. And don't forget to like the video. See you on the next one.